The book of Zechariah is a profound and powerful revelation of God's plan for his people, both in their present struggles and their future hope. Tonight, as we open to the first chapter, we see God speaking directly to his people, urging them to return to him with a promise of restoration and mercy. The words in Zechariah 1:3, "Turn unto me, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will turn unto you," resonate deeply. These are not just words for the Israelites of old, but a timeless call to every one of us. Whether you find yourself far from God, feeling the weight of sin, or simply lukewarm in your walk with him, he waits for you to turn. This is a promise that applies to the sinner longing for salvation and to the believer who has drifted. God's arms remain open, ready to embrace and restore all who turn to him. Zechariah's prophetic voice spans history and eternity, speaking of both the Jews' return from Babylonian exile and the grander return of Jesus Christ at his second coming. In chapter 2, verse 5, we read, "For I, saith the Lord, will be unto it a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of it." This is not just about ancient Jerusalem. It is a picture of God's ultimate protection and presence among his people in the coming kingdom. He promises not only to be a shield around us, but to dwell within us, to be our glory and our peace. This points us forward to the day when Christ will reign visibly on earth. But it also reminds us of his indwelling spirit now, a foretaste of what is to come. The beauty of Zechariah's prophecy is how it lifts our eyes beyond the immediate to the eternal. The promise in chapter 3, "I will bring forth my servant, the branch," reveals the Messiah, Jesus Christ, as both priest and king. Jesus is the branch, the one who bridges the gap between heaven and earth, who builds the temple of God, not made with hands, but made of living stones, you and me. The same Jesus who intercedes for us as our high priest will one day return as king to rule with justice and righteousness. Can you feel the magnitude of this truth? The king who was rejected at his first coming will return to claim his throne, to establish his kingdom, and to reign in Jerusalem, in the very land where his people have long awaited their Messiah. As we continue through Zechariah, the imagery grows richer, filled with visions of restoration and joy. The 8th chapter speaks of a future Jerusalem teeming with life, where boys and girls play safely in the streets, and old men and women sit in peace. This picture is not a far-off dream, but a promise rooted in the unchanging character of God. He is a God who redeems, who gathers his people from the east and the west, who says, "They shall be my people, and I will be their God in truth and in righteousness." What does this mean for us today? It means hope. It means that no matter how broken or scattered we feel, God's promises stand firm. His call to us remains the same. Return to him, walk in his light, and trust in his plans. Zechariah reminds us that history bends toward God's ultimate purpose. He is not only the God of yesterday but the God of tomorrow. The King is coming, and he invites us to be part of his kingdom. Let these words stir your heart. If you are weary, turn to him. If you are lost, he will find you. If you are longing for purpose, know that you are part of his divine plan. And as we wait for the fulfillment of all things, let us live with our eyes fixed on Jesus, the branch, the King of Kings, and our eternal hope. Amen.